What is happening, everybody? Hope you're all good in the hood and everybody's Uncle Andy fine and dandy. Episode number 3. Today, what we're going to talk about is Easter. What not to do, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing around Easter to not fall off track, and pretty much keep the progress that you've made so far, or start making progress if you haven't started already. And that's what we're going to talk about today on episode number 3. So what I'm going to do is play the intro now. You're now listening to the Caffeine and Coaching Podcast by Ricky Cosgrove. We talk everything from my caffeine addiction to the fact that I coach frustrated men and women to lose weight, get into shape and bulletproof their confidence without having to give up the foods they love. Sit back, take some notes, and I will catch you in today's episode. So now you've had the intro, I'm going to take a wee slurp and we'll get started. Sorry this one is a little bit late to the action. I know I try to get these out sort of the start of the week. But had a super busy week this week so far, and I still have a busy week. I'm just managing to squeeze this podcast in because I had a call with somebody that cancelled, and I thought, well, there's an hour free, so why not blast out this podcast? And that's what we will do. So, apologies, but if I wasn't busy, I'd be bored. I've got loads of stuff on the plate. New team members signed up to get programmed up and joining in the action, and I have other current team members obviously absolutely smashing it, just getting them, keeping them ticking over. 2, 4, 6, good few team members with photo shoots and stuff booked up, so we had to make plans for those, etc. And everything's just going a bit nuts. Is it just me though? Answer me this question, let me know in the comments, etc. This past year is absolutely nuts. It's went so quick. Like, it's Easter already. This time last Easter, albeit Easter was a little bit later last year, but we had the sunny weather out in the gardens, albeit we were still in lockdown. But like, how fast has that year went? Like, they always say, oh, when you get older, time flies, time goes quicker whenever you get older. I remember being whenever I was younger and thought, oh, shut up, time is time, 24 hours is 24 hours, but it is so true. Now that I'm that old guy saying time goes, time flies whenever you get older and you never have enough time in the day to do this, X, Y, and Z. It's so true. It's so true. Time. I put it down pretty much to look at that hair, COVID haircut in the making. I put it down to being busy, pretty much. You think about it, whenever you were younger and you were just living every day as it comes, you didn't really have much to think about in the future as such, and you didn't really have to make plans or anything, so time just kind of went a little bit slower. And I think whenever you get older, because you're so busy and because there's always something to do, you've always got a to-do list, you've always got to schedule things into your week, etc., that time just seems to go a lot quicker because you're always focusing on that next thing that needs done. You don't really have time to sort of dwell on the here and now. You're always thinking of the what needs done then. And because you're consistently thinking about all those things that need done and need ticked off in the future, time just seems to quicken up. And then next thing you know, you're in a pandemic, locked in the house, a year's gone, boom. You're like, Jesus, what happened? So I think that's just a little bit of a mad one. Agree with me or disagree, let me know. Do you think that year has been absolutely nuts and flown in, or do you think it's been super slow and you're super I wouldn't say depressed, to be fair, but it's either went super quick for you, or it has went super slow while you've been locked up, etc. Because obviously business is closed, there's not much to do, you can't go to a cinema, you can't do these different things. A post popped up on my, was it Facebook? I think it was Facebook, 8 years ago, of me sitting in traffic in Portrush, and the tailback was from Portrush. For those of you who know Portrush, the North Coast area, from Portrush, I was coming from Portstewart, in the Triangle area, coming up to Portrush, and we're coming past, what would you call it? Anybody who knows the Northwest 200, under the bridge, at Church Corner, and the tailback was the whole way back to the pits in Portstewart. And I remember this because it was close to 9 years ago, because it was just whenever I was starting out coaching, etc., and I was working in Portrush. So I picked the guy up in Portstewart who was working with me that night, and we turn that phone off, and we were driving to work, obviously stuck in the traffic. If I can remember right, we were supposed to start work at 5 o'clock, and we didn't get there. I think it was like 7:20 or something that night. The shift had nearly finished, which was absolutely nuts. But the tailback was literally from, he lived where Tesco's is in Portstewart. Again, some of you might not know where this is, but it's pretty much at the start of Portstewart. We went through there, came out, the tailback was right the whole way back, past the pits in Portstewart, and we were sitting there for pretty much, it took us over 2 hours to get from Portstewart to Portrush. And for those who don't know, that would normally take literally 60 seconds to drive if you had no traffic. Like, you were just driving normal, no traffic. 60 seconds would take you from Portrush or Portstewart to Portrush, and that took us over 2 hours, which is absolutely mad. But now we're locked in the house again for the second Easter. Which I don't mean to laugh, it's just mad to think about. Like, if you had spoke about this situation a couple of years ago, even January last year, if you turn around and says there's going to be a pandemic, everybody's going to be locked in the house, and you're not going to be able to, businesses are going to close, and nowhere's going to be able to open for a year, and you're going to be walking about with masks on, not going to be able to do certain things, schools are going to be off. You would look at somebody as if they had two heads. But anyway, I digress, going off on a ramble as always. Easter's here again. How do we navigate Easter to make progress, or not completely buckle the progress that we've made thus far? My thoughts on it are, not even my thoughts, my beliefs on it are to relax, enjoy Easter, enjoy your birthday, enjoy Christmas, enjoy Easter, enjoy Halloween. There is no difference between these occasions, and they come around every single year. If you cannot navigate these, I don't even want to call them obstacles, because they're not really obstacles. If you cannot navigate these times of the year without putting yourself down, without running yourself down, without going off track and letting it lead on to weeks and weeks of binging out, then there's something wrong with your plan. Again, it comes down to a plan fitting you instead of you fitting the plan. And again, this comes down to, I had a call with a new team member the other day who was a little bit hesitant about joining up, and pretty much her backstory was she was with a coach before, had quite a bit of weight to lose. The coach had given her a meal plan and said, stick to this, I'll get you to where you want to be, blah, blah, blah. She was fresh-eyed and bushy-tailed, thought, happy days, let's go. She stuck to it, obviously seen results because it was putting her in a calorie deficit, but then it was a single meal plan, and she stuck to that single meal plan for, I think it was about 12, 13 weeks, however long it was, and she wasn't allowed anything off that plan. Now, yes, she dropped weight, albeit I think, as far as I know, she reached the target of what she wanted to be in terms of weight and progress, etc. Oh, sugar. In terms of progress, etc. So she got there, which is all well and good. But guess what happened whenever she came off that plan? Obviously, she rebounded back again and put all the weight back on, if not more, because she didn't know how to manage special occasions, special dates in the calendar, birthdays, holidays. She didn't know how to incorporate foods at weekends. She didn't know how to enjoy drinks, how to have a takeaway and have a normal life, whilst one, getting the results that she wanted, but two, being able to keep them long term. And that's why I just put it out there now that some of you listening to this have probably messaged me before as well, asking about prices for coaching. And this is precisely why I don't like giving my price out over DM, message, voice note, phone call, etc. Because, and she admitted it, I said this to her on the call, is if I was to give you my price just as a text on a number, or as a number on a text, you're just going to relate that back to what you done previously with this meal plan. And as she was saying, like, it was pretty much a dictator for her, because she asked him, could she have a change, could she do this, could she do that, and he said, nope, stick to the plan. This plan will get you to where you want to be, do not go off track. And that's not teaching you anything. It's really not. And the thing is, whenever you do that, you're going to fall off. So she didn't know how to manipulate and manage these things, so she inevitably fell off. So if I had to give her my price on a text and I asked her this, and she said herself she probably wouldn't have done it, because you relate that back to the bad experiences you've had in the past. And if you've had a bad experience in the past with a coach, with a PT, with a dictator, because there are so many of them out there, and it's an absolute farce of how easy it is to get into this industry and give people absolute nonsense advice, and for them to cross your palm with silver, and pretty much you just give them crap. So that's why I like to get people on calls. I'm like, listen, I don't really want to give you the price now, because you're just going to relate it back to a bad experience you've had in the past, and you're going to put me in the same bracket as those ball bags that you've been in touch with before. So let's get on a call. Let me show you the things behind the scene. Let me show you how I work. Let me show you behind the scenes in terms of the app, the Facebook group, my community. Let me show you how I work and how I get people having gin and pizza at the weekends, but still getting the results that you see in my Instagram, etc. So that's why I like to get them on a call before I give them a price, so that they can see the value in it, pretty much. But anyway, she joined up. Happy-go-lucky. Happy-go-lucky. Don't know why I said that. All happy. And she's ready to rock and roll. But the reason I'm saying this is because this person didn't teach her how to manage Easter. This person didn't teach her how to manage her birthday. This person didn't teach her how to manage Christmas, Halloween, holidays. Pretty much just give her a piece of paper, said, eat this and you'll lose weight. Fair enough. That's going to work. But you're not really getting anything from it, are you? If you want to enjoy an Easter egg this Easter, have it from me. Go and enjoy the Easter egg. If you have a coach at the minute, if you have a PT at the minute, and they tell you you're not allowed to do it, go and buy the biggest, nicest Easter egg you can clap your eyes on in Asda, Sainsbury's, wherever you do your shopping, and buy that Easter egg and send them a picture of it, and just put in the caption saying, Ricky, Team CBC said I could have this Easter egg. Get them to message me, because if they have an issue with it, they obviously don't know what they're talking about. They obviously don't know how they can manage things on your perspective and on their perspective in order for you to have that Easter egg and still make progress and still stay on track. And if they don't know those things, they shouldn't be your coach anyway. So yeah, do that. I'm sure I'll look forward to some weird and wonderful DMs. But yeah, listen, if you're planning this Easter, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, if you want an Easter egg, have a fucking Easter egg and enjoy it. Chill out, relax, and honestly, do not go on to myprotein.com. Don't go on to whatever website and buy a protein Easter egg. Do not do it. If you're going to have an Easter egg, have one that you're going to enjoy, and have one that is going to satisfy that craving. Whether it's 1,500 calories, whether it's 2,000 calories worth of Easter egg, get that Easter egg that you want, that's on the shelf calling your name, take it and eat it and enjoy it. Because, well, one, if I think it was maybe last year, I had the protein advent calendar from my protein, and the chocolate was so bad, I actually ended up taking it in the gym and just giving it to people. because the chocolate on it was so bad. And the only thing that's going to do is if you go down that route and you get a protein one, for instance, that you end up not liking, is you're probably going to binge out afterwards. And again, you'll feel bad for doing that. So you might as well just go and enjoy a proper Easter egg and chill the fuck out, relax, and just move on afterwards. The reason I think, in my opinion, people fall off track and they let special occasions affect them in a negative way, and they feel as if they've been bad, and that leads on to them one day being bad, into 3, 4, 5 days, leads on to weeks of being bad until they finally pull themselves together and get back on track again, is because they make themselves feel bad. It's a mindset shift, because they'll have a takeaway, or they'll be sitting at the weekend and they think they might, or put my teeth back in, they think that they shouldn't have these certain things. So then they really, really want one because their partner wants a pizza, and they think, okay, I can't really have that. So then they have it. Then they put themselves down for having it because, okay, I've just ruined everything. They put themselves in that negative mind frame or mindset. And then what happens then is, because they feel bad about it, they end up thinking in their head that they've completely ruined all their progress. So then that leads on to another day of them feeling bad. Whenever you feel bad, you just want to lie and do nothing, binge out, eat crap. And because you're in that mindset, the likelihood of you binging out and continuing that binge for days, if not weeks, is a lot higher. The likelihood of you doing that is a lot higher than if you simply turn around and say, right, I've been doing this for X amount of time now, I've made this progress, I'm going to have an Easter egg. I'm going to have an Easter egg, I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm just going to get back on track again. Simple, easy. If anything, you might just stay where you're at, because let's be honest, 2,000 calories from an Easter egg isn't the be all and end all. It might hold your progress where it's been, or where it's at right now, but sure, who cares? It's Easter. Keep your progress where it's at right now for Easter, get back on track again, and continue moving forward. It's kind of like, pardon me, it's kind of like you taking 5 steps forward, then taking 1 step back, to then move another 5 steps forward, something else come up, take 1 step back, move 5 steps forward. And if you consistently do this, you're always moving in the right direction. Okay, so over the period of time, yes, you might take 1 step back at certain points, but the average, you're always moving forward, and you're never ever going to linearly, I can't say that word. Your progress isn't going to be linear, so you're never going to always be perfect the whole way along. Very, 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 very few people in the past 8 years or so that I've been doing this have been able to just stay on track the whole time, not fall off. I call it a wobble week. So what I mean by a wobble week is the weeks where you feel like absolute garbage, you cannot be bothered, the scale's fluctuating all over the place, you're run down, work's getting in the way, you're tired all the time, you have a takeaway, you have a wee bit of a wobble, but then you click back into gear again afterwards. I call it a wobble week. So I think because I have that sort of, I hate to say ingrained in the team's mind, because it sounds like I should be called Darren Brown or something, doing some hypnosis type of shit. But because I have that sort of implementation of a wobble week, they know that this thing's going to happen here and there, and they can deal with it a lot better. And the mindset shift is a lot different. So instead of them feeling bad about having a wobble, what happens is they have that wobble and then they say, fuck this, Ricky said this happens to everybody. They can click back in the gear a lot easier because they don't have to feel bad about it, because they know it's going to happen. I've got a video in the Client Hub that's called What to Do When You Fuck Up, and I didn't name it to say what to do if you fuck up. I said what to do when you fuck up, because everybody's going to have a wobble, everybody's going to fall off track, but as long as we can connect it to a positive mindset, the likelihood of you continuing that wobble for a few days or for a few weeks until you click back in the gears a lot less than if you had connected it to a negative mindset. So if you have a day where you completely binge out and then you say to yourself, shit, I shouldn't have done that, fair enough. If you run yourself down and connect it to a negative emotion, then the likelihood of that continuing on for a couple of weeks is very, very high. Where if you can connect it and say, fuck, I shouldn't have done that, but shit happens. Wobble day, wobble week, whatever it may be. I've had that wee wobble. Ricky said this is going to happen. We already had it planned for, so I'll go back and watch this wee video. And to be honest, all that wee video says is just to forget about it and move forward. Not to try and catch up on it, not to then starve yourself for a couple of days and try to get back on track again. Just get back on track and start ticking the boxes again. Forget about it. You probably enjoyed the wobble, to be honest. So have it, enjoy it, move forward from there. Positive mindset, say, right, I had it, I did it, it's going to happen to everybody. Let's move forward from here. Don't need to make up for it. Let's just take steps forward. So then again, 5 steps forward. We've had a wobble, so we've taken a step back. We're still 4 steps forward from where we were at the start. And then we continue taking steps forward again. Have another wobble, take another step back, have another few steps forward. So along that journey, we've maybe had a couple of steps backwards. But we've made so many more steps forwards than what we have steps back. If that makes sense at all. It does in my head whenever I'm thinking about it, but whether that comes across to you is another thing. But yeah, listen, if you're trying to plan around Easter, if you're trying to manipulate it in such a way that you can do it in different ways. You can do the whole borrowing calories situation. You can have just a couple of days off. Whatever your strategy is, have an Easter egg. Have a couple of days off over Easter, enjoy them, and then just get back on track again straight afterwards. And don't feel bad about it. That's the key thing, is not to feel bad about it. I'll be one to tell you that I am going to absolutely murder probably two, if not 3 Easter eggs. And I'm going to enjoy them. Now, this obviously has context. I have a couple, I'm just thinking because I just looked up at the board and I have a few people doing photo shoots this year. Now, context is key here. Context is key. If you have a photo shoot in the next 8 weeks or so, probably not the best idea to be binging out on a couple of Easter eggs. But for the general public, for the Gen Pop who are simply looking to look good, feel good, get happier, healthier, fitter and stronger, and are looking to create a better mindset, create a better lifestyle around food, lose weight, as I say, and get into shape and keep it long term, we have to learn how to manage special occasions, Easter, Halloween, Christmas, birthdays, holidays, and pretty much how we manage them is just to be on track most of the time. We are what we do most of the time. So if you're on track more than you're off track, you're obviously still going to make steps forward and you're going to progress because you're on track more than you're off track. So enjoy Easter. Do not have a negative emotion to it. Don't put yourself in a negative mindset and think that you can't have an Easter egg and still be on track and still make progress, because you can. And I'm sure a lot of people's probably going to be clicking into this thinking that I'm going to give you some magic pill or magic spark of knowledge that's going to help you navigate Easter and make all this progress and stay on track but still enjoy an Easter egg. Listen, enjoy it, have it. Don't even track the Easter egg. Just eat it, like it. That's why I say get the biggest, dirtiest one you can find that you know that you're going to like and have it. Mine's Lindor. I'll be managing or munching on one of them, and just enjoy it. Get back on track afterwards and everything will be fine. There's nothing you're going to be able to do in a day or a couple of days that can't be rectified afterwards. So get out of that negative mindset, put into the positive mindset, and know that, listen, even if you have a couple of days over Easter where you enjoy an Easter egg on Saturday or Sunday, get out some steps, still get those boxes ticked, and then you might enjoy a takeaway at some point, or enjoy a couple of days, you're still going to be on track. You're still going to be able to right, and I don't want to say right those wrongs because there's nothing wrong with it. So you're still going to be able to manage and get back on track again, as long as you don't have that negative emotion to it. So many of you probably, I would say, can resonate with that, where you fell off your diet, you've binged out on some shit that you probably shouldn't have done, and because you feel so shit about yourself, that's then led on to another day of doing it. Another day of doing it is led on to a week, and then you get the message being like, I've had a bit of a crap couple of weeks, now back on track. And it's that all or nothing mentality that can completely sabotage your progress over a long period of time, because what happens is you're all in, so you go flat to the mat 24/7, 360, well, not 365 because you make some progress in that, but 24/7 pretty much whenever you're on track. You're all in, both feet, boom, hitting stupid amount of steps, doing all these workouts, training every day, managing what you eat, probably super restricting what you eat every day. And then that inevitably is going to lead to a wobble. So you have that wobble, and because you have that wobble, because being so good was such an extreme, whenever you do have a fall off and you have that wobble, the fall off from it is also so extreme because you have that negative emotion attached to it. Then you maybe go a couple of weeks of being super on point. You have the wobble, you feel awful about it, so then that knocks you off for another week, if not 2 weeks, and then you say, I need to catch myself on, let's go, I'm back in the gear again, and then the wee post goes up saying, fell off track, been a bit of a bad couple of weeks or whatever, back in the game now, let's go, and then you're flat to the mat, you're out steps again, you're smashing workouts, you're doing everything to the extreme. Try to find that balance. Be again, I hate saying good and bad, but be good more than you're bad, and you're going to make steps forward, but still allow you for those wobbles and those weeks and those special occasions. That way, as I say, the key thing is few steps forward, one step back, few steps forward, one step back, few steps forward, and you're going to get your goal, and you're going to be able to keep that long term. So we'll call it there again, sort of 26 minutes, 25 minutes for this one. Enjoy Easter. Have a good time. Everybody who's getting an Easter egg, tag me on Instagram on your stories of the Easter egg that you're eating at the time, and let me know what it is, and I'll be sure to post mine as well. But yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you're in here. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. And if I'm not sure if the podcast has like a wee notification thing, but if you're on YouTube and you're watching my ugly mug now, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the wee bell button down there as well, and that'll notify you whenever a new episode comes up. And yeah, if you have any recommendations for podcasts, for tips, for tricks, I already have quite a few notes down of different episodes and stuff that I want to do to obviously help everybody make steps forward with their mindset, their body, and their progress. But if you personally have any ideas, drop me a DM, drop me a message, comment down below, whatever it may be, and just let me know what your struggles are and what you would like me to cover in terms of episodes and stuff that might help you reach your targets and goals. And I'll be happy to put it on my list and definitely get an episode drawn up for it. 100%. So yeah, listen, been a good time, been a good episode. Hopefully it gives you a wee bit of clarity on what to do around Easter and special occasions, etc., etc. Hit the like button, give this a share as well if you don't mind. If you're still here at this point, you're probably I'll not say a big fan, but I've obviously not detested you enough to click off this. So please give the podcast a share on your socials, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. It just helps me get it out there a wee bit more into other people's eyes, and obviously you're also helping others whenever you do give it a share, because there's probably a lot of people out there who's freaking out at the minute. They've made so much progress over the last few weeks and they're freaking out because it's coming up to Easter and they don't know how to manage it. And maybe this podcast is going to help them kind of get a better perspective on it and a better mindset. So you're actually helping others as well whenever you do give it a share, a like and a comment, etc. So thank you for listening to me ramble again on episode 3. Look forward to episode number 4. Hopefully it should be out at the start of next week. So yeah, subscribe, hit the bell button, give it a share, and I will see you in the next episode.